Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu pakhair agale ni hao chunashume washmale ohai gozaimis. Guten Morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shuma chatore, ahlan wa sahlan, marhaba, buna, mucho gracias, swabi, balli kare aaya. Hosh galden and ayasayo, khuyo morachi, watochi, haljud, kali mera khairutan. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning on a very rainy Wednesday morning over here in Islamabad. I'm really lucky I've been joined by my wonderful colleague who happens to be Miss Eesha Rehan. I happen to be Shahzad Khan, and we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Eesha, assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Wa alaikum assalam, Shahzad. Thank you for the very accurate introduction of the rainy morning, because you know the downpour has been prevalent since last night. However, we woke up to a very beautiful and scenic Islamabad as always. But you know, other parts of the country are not so lucky as urban flooding is very prevalent. So let's dive into how the weather report for the day is coming.
Exactly, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight on to how the weather is going to be in the next 24 hours, where National Emergencies Operations Center of NDMA has issued multiple impact-based weather alerts in a view of the ongoing monsoon system, which is expected to affect various parts of the country over the next 24 to 72 hours. These alerts highlight the risk of heavy rainfall, urban flooding, flash floods, strong winds, and associated structural and travel-related hazards. I'm going to make sure that I give such information which will actually kind of entail a detail about how it is going to be in different parts of Pakistan. Where in Punjab, heavy rainfall, ladies and gentlemen, is expected over the next 12 to 24 hours in several districts, including Rawalpindi, Sargodha, Faisalabad, Sahiwal, Chiniot, Tuba Tek Singh, Narowal, Okara, Jhang, Bahawalpur, Bahawalnagar, Multan, Khanewal. NEOC has also issued a flash flood alert for 15 to 18 July for several parts of northeastern and southeastern Punjab, including Islamabad and Rawalpindi. And now I'm going to take you to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where rainfall in forecast for the next 12 to 24 hours in districts including Chitral, Dees, Swat, Kalam, Malakand, Batagram, Balakot, Mansehra, Shangla, Haripur, Abbottabad, Mardan, Swabi, Peshawar, Charsadda, Nowshera, Kohat, Hangu, Waziristan, Bannu and Laki Mawad. Now moving on to Balochistan, where isolated rain with thunderstorm is expected over the next 12 to 24 hours again in Quetta, Zob, Kolu, Sherani, Ziyarat, Kalat, Barkhan, Awaran, Nasirabad, Dera Bukti, Sibbi and nearby areas. NDMA has actually urged public across all affected regions to take precautionary measures, particularly in flood-prone and low-lying areas. So people who are out there, please make sure that you look after yourself and the people around you.
And you know, flooding and the monsoon rains are not just affecting parts of Pakistan, but also globally. So let's dive into what is happening in the US. Heavy rains and flash floods in the northwestern US state of New Jersey have claimed 2 lives. Torrential downpours swept through parts of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and have been causing widespread disruption to traffic and daily routes. Strong winds and rain have inflicted significant damage on several homes and vehicles. In response to the worsening situation, the governor of New Jersey has declared a state of emergency. The National Weather Service has also issued a warning of further heavy rainfall. Meanwhile, the death toll from July 4th floods in Texas has climbed up to 134 lives, which sounds very devastating. And you know, Shahzad, since the start of the monsoon season, we have been blaming climate change for this massive impact on humanity. However, we are the ones who do not have proper drainage systems. We are the ones who built our cities and roads in the path of the flood waters, and so we are suffering from the consequences. I think it dives into how human beings need to plan more accurately, which is why we need to think more cautiously when we are planning new cities and urban areas.
Thank you so much for saying that. But in addition to this, obviously it will go back to climate change, because it's not the amount of, it's about the amount of rainfall that we're receiving now. See, it wasn't really there, probably if you go back 6 or 7 years ago, but now unfortunately it's a phenomenon. And where we speak about monsoon rains and flooding, imagine that there are places on this globe now where the heat is actually scorching as well. So imagine that as Europe sizzles in extraordinarily high temperatures, people in Spain are turning to hand fans to keep themselves cool. July has seen temperatures rising to around 40 degrees in Madrid, and in this hot weather, a handheld fan has become a must-have item. It has retained its relevance thanks to designer creativity and increasingly oppressive summer temperatures stoked by climate change. One shop called Casa de Diego fan boutique located in the center of the Spanish capital boasts 10,000 different models of fans. And I don't know if you remember or not, because obviously there's a generation gap in between you and me, but we have seen our grandfather, grandmothers, वो पंखा झेलते हुए हमने उनको देखा है, and it came in really handy. And even now, I think I might even have some lying just around on my side table.
Maybe I know what you're talking about. It's the fan made of straws, thin straws that you fling in the heat. And we also used to make them out of paper. Like we used to fold pieces of paper and make these pretty little fans for our teachers in our classes.
There's different variety of it, but we'll speak about it. But ladies and gentlemen, these are for the weather updates, and for anybody and everybody who's out there, please make sure that you look after. Now, I think what I would really want to do is I would really want to kind of look at how the global affairs are going on. So, to kind of bring your attention to that, imagine that ex-president Medvedev says Russia does not care about Trump's theatrical ultimatum. The Kremlin says United States President Donald Trump's recent threats, including sanctions of buyers of Russian exports, are serious and need careful analysis. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry adds that some remarks were directed at President Putin, who may respond later. Meanwhile, former Russian President Dmitry dismisses Trump's ultimatum as theatrical, saying Russia does not care about the threats unless they impact peace talks over Ukraine. I think that's a great point that they have brought forward.
They definitely have. And diving into what is happening across the globe, the European Commission has proposed new tariffs on US goods worth 72 billion euros if trade talks with the Washington fail. The list includes major items like aircrafts, cars, machinery, chemicals and medical devices, along with food and beverages. This is the list of the EU's second proposed package in response to the US tariffs on cars and auto parts. In earlier 21 billion euro package remains suspended until August 6 to allow room for negotiation.
Exactly, and EU Trade Chief Maros says that the bloc still hopes to reach a deal but is ready to act if talks collapse.
This tariff war is going very strong and hard on both sides, and let's see who prevails and lands at
exactly, and I think probably the global leaders really need to come on terms and probably sit on a table and solve solutions at a diplomatic front. But while we're at it, let's take a good look at what's happening with global stocks. As tariffs down, Asian shares lift US stocks. So Asian markets trade mixed as investors react to President Trump's new tariff plans. Japan and Australia see slight gains, while South Korea, Hong Kong and China's markets dip. Shanghai falls 0.9% on weaker economic data. China's annual growth slows to 5.2%. Meanwhile, Wall Street ends higher, with all major indexes posting modest gains. The market response follows Trump's plan to impose 30% tariffs on the EU and Mexico from August 1st and a threat of 100% tariffs on Russia. I don't know what Trump's thinking about. Yeah, but
and I think what everyone is waiting for is the update for oil prices, and the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries maintains its forecast for global oil demand growth in 2025 and 2026, expecting an increase of 1.3 million barrels per day each year, the same as last month's estimate. OPEC says oil demand from developed countries will grow by 100,000 barrels per day in 2025, while demand from developing countries is expected to rise by 1.2 million barrels per day. On the economic side, OPEC notes steady global growth supported by strong performance in the first half of 2025.
Exactly.
These are strong projections.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the lovely updates, and for everybody who's out there. We hope that we as a team have actually equipped you whatever information or was required for you to kind of go through the day. But while we're over here, I think as Pakistanis, what we really want to do is we really want to create opportunities, job opportunities. We have spoken about it just yesterday when it was the World Youth Skill Day. We spoke about it, how children need to come forward with their ideas, probably make sure that they actually have a mixed experience of how they really need to create opportunities, and then not just that, have those soft skills, communication and whatnot. Now imagine, we do know how we do have e-commerce, and e-commerce, ladies and gentlemen, is actually running quite a lot of economy all over the globe. People are making good chunks of money. How can we prepare our youngsters to do that is something that we will be discussing. And to do that, we're very lucky that we've been joined by the Chairman Vision Pakistan, who happens to be SHAKEEL Ahmed MEER Saab. Hello MEER Saab, assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you feeling today?
Wa alaikum assalam, and thank you very much. Actually, the way you are conducting your program, it's giving me energy as well. So I was a little bit asleep, but after
Thank
listening
you
to
so
you,
much for
I'm
saying
fully
that.
awake
And you
now.
know, whenever we actually kind of come across any social media post of you, I think it gives us a lot of hope. Now,
And
before we actually speak about Vision Pakistan, let's discuss the role of e-commerce in youth development and economic freedom. Please go ahead.
So first of all, e-commerce for those people who are still trying to understand the concept, e-commerce is simply like before 20 years ago, there used to be physical shops. People would go there and buy stuff, and now since Amazon has come onto world map, everything's changed. Now you are sitting at your home and you simply order whatever you need, and within a day or sometimes even the same day, you receive those products. So e-commerce has changed the world map, and this is a new way of shopping. So this is really important that even in Pakistan, I think most of the people now they are using online platforms to order stuff. So it's here already. It's not going to be here in the next 5 years. It's here already, and it's time that all of us learn and adopt it as a skill and business so that we can make money as well. That's where the youth comes in. When you look,
all right, all right, Mr. Shakeel, you talked about how the show is very energized, right? So as Pakistanis, we love hearing the word free, which is why it energizes us a lot. So you are conducting the free training of around 500,000 Pakistanis. How is this going to happen? And people usually feel skeptical when they hear the word free, right? We feel happy, but we also feel skeptical. So how is this training going to progress?
okay, so there's a bit of background. Like, for example, me and my team and all the overseas Pakistanis, I have a big network. And all of us Pakistanis got together, overseas Pakistanis, and we thought we need to do something about our country. It's our beloved country, no matter we're in London, we're in the UK, US, Europe. Country is first. So it's coming from that angle. So making money from the trainings is not the purpose here, and it will be a completely free online platform where students can go and register, and they will get free training. But it is AI based, so you will learn AI, the latest skills, which are the most popular in the world, AI technology, as well as e-commerce, digital marketing, web development, graphic designing. So students, when they register, AI will talk to them, and then according to their talent and their skills, direct them to the right course. They do the course, but it also tests their skills as they learn the course. And at the end of the day, student graduates. And what the different thing we're trying to do here is there are so many other platforms, but normally it's like our education system where you do studies for 16 years and you get a degree. And there was a time when people used to say you have a degree, you will get a job. But these days there's no sureties. And I think most of the population, they're jobless. But that's where we're making a difference, that we're connecting our whole business network from all over the world so that these students, when they graduate, there are opportunities available for them, specifically for them. And it's not 500,000. 500,000 students is phase one. Our ultimate target is 10 million students by 2030. That's why it's called Vision 2030.
I
And
think
that's
that's
just one
really
part for students.
yeah. So let's move on towards the second part as well.
Okay, second part is economy of Pakistan. Who would make the difference? Is it government's job? Is it different institutions? Who can make the difference? And we feel every single Pakistani can make the difference. So we as overseas Pakistanis, we got together, and what we're launching is business hubs in all major cities, and ultimately by 2030 in all the districts of Pakistan. So the aim is we get together the talent on one side, which is from our platform, they are learning skills and now they are talented individuals who need work. But at the same time, in every single city and in every single district, there are businesses who have grown to a local level and making profits, but they have capability to become national or international business. But what do they need? They need money or funding for their growth, as well as a team who can help them grow. So this is the second group of people, and then there's third smaller group of people who have money, who want to invest into businesses or projects where they can generate good profits. So we're simply getting them together at city level and district level. So all of these groups come together and they work with each other. Businesses get funding from the investors, and when investors generate good profits, businesses grow, job opportunities are produced, and then we have youth there who can avail these opportunities. So this is the idea we
That's
already
wonderful.
launched.
Thank you so much, Mr. Meer, for doing all of this, for Pakistani students or Pakistani youngsters. We do know how, in terms of youngsters, Pakistan is budding with 60% of youth, alhamdulillah, or probably more than that. Now, imagine, I think I would want to connect it with, first of all, thank you so much for the trainings. That's the first part. Second, obviously, when we're going to come down to this is business hubs. And third, certainly, they will be a part of the ecosystem. How do you think that the already existing ecosystem of yours will actually help them seek employment?
Okay, so first of all, for example, right now, a bit of history about me, like I have in more than 11 countries, I have more than 50 companies, and there are more than 15,000 employees I have worldwide. What I've decided with this step, I need to take the first step. So I have decided that at least half of these jobs will go to these Pakistanis, to the youth. So that's why I've created back-end office in Islamabad, and we have employed around about 50 people within last month or so. So there will be at least 8,000 jobs this year.
Okay.
And then this is just me. And then I have a network of over 100,000 businesses worldwide. Imagine how many jobs, opportunities these businesses can create. So this is the main part of the ecosystem where I'm bringing all my opportunities to Pakistan, as well as I'm telling my friends and people in my network that Pakistani youth is very talented. They just need hand holding. When they learn the skills, they could be really useful. And they're profits for us. And end of the day, I'm a businessman as well. So the person maybe costing me $10,000 in London could cost me less. But that gives opportunity to Pakistani youth. So I'm utilizing my current network, as well as we have plans to speak with all the big governments and create a freelancing platform from all over the world where these students and our youth can go register and they get job opportunities.
Have you been in conversation with Pakistan's government? We do have a Kamyab Jawan program over here. There are multiple programs under the auspices of the Honorable Prime Minister going on as of now. Have you been in conversation with Pakistan's government?
There are a few backdoor discussions going on. To be honest, I've never been involved in politics or anything at all. So, but there are different institutes and there are different government bodies we're speaking with and in talks with. The problem is, normally I come from purely business background. I started from zero and then I made multi-million dollars in London and then expanded all over the world. So my approach is strictly practical. Practical means businesses will grow and then the job opportunities will come. So sometimes when I look at these programs, they're only addressing only one part. Maybe they are training the students, but they're not providing job opportunities. So I would love to work with institutions from the government side. And as I said, there are initial discussions going on, but I think in a couple of days' time or 1 week's time, I'll be in Islamabad as well, and I'm meeting few important people there as well. But I want to, again, at the same time
on our show face to face so that we can actually have this conversation. But while we're at it, there's one more thing which I would want to talk about. Now, imagine me, I think what we really need to say or probably introduce as a concept is that for all of those individuals, Pakistanis who've actually left Pakistan for a better future, I don't think that it's brain drain. I think that's because Pakistan is rich in human resource, and I think all of those individuals who are out there really need to have some sort of skill, go out there, send remittances back home, which will kind of contribute towards our economy. Do you agree to this idea that we really need to export human resource because it's an era of artificial intelligence, e-commerce, Internet of Things? Do you think it will help Pakistan's economy?
The answer is $40 billion. That's the remittance coming from overseas Pakistanis. So no matter where you go, you become millionaire, billionaire, whatever you're doing outside of Pakistan. Pakistan is first. All your money ultimately is going to go to Pakistan. So for example, I'm an example, and there are millions of people who are in Middle East, who are in Europe, UK, America. All of them, they send money to Pakistan, and that helps. That's a big help for our Pakistan's economy. So I'm saying, okay, if you get an opportunity in Germany, UK, US, go and avail that, because ultimately that becomes our ambassador overseas. That person becomes our ambassador. So we need to have as many ambassadors. Yeah, it drains the country when, for example, a specific skills like doctors or engineers, they all want to leave and they don't want to stay in the country, and then we need resources there. But I think 65%, almost 65% of youth population we have in Pakistan, so we have enough resources. And the ultimate trick is you connect all these dots. You connect the youth, the businesses, uh, our government, as well as overseas Pakistanis. They are sitting in really good positions and high positions in world-class organizations. They can bring business, they can bring investments. You connect them all, you have the best country in the world.
Exactly, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Meer, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation with you, and thank you so much for giving back to your country, your motherland, your community, and Pakistan. And Pakistan is wonderful to be in conversation with such progressive mindset people, you know, who actually think beyond time. And for all of those people who might still be struggling to learn, ladies and gentlemen, the free courses have been introduced under the Vision Pakistan program. Please make sure that you go ahead, enroll. That's your responsibility.
And you know, Shahzad, that was very well, and people want to learn, people want to adopt skills, and why go with traditional business training when you can go with digital skills and e-commerce skills and AI skills, which are actually very prevalent now.
Which is why, Eesha, I'm going to ask you, are you going to learn them?
If it's free, I will definitely will. You know, the free part really made me happy.
I don't know if it should be free or not, but you know that the lunch that we had yesterday was for free. Thank you so much. I think because I've been asking her, you know, that you got your first paycheck, please go ahead, you need to treat us on air. So I really need to thank her on air.
You know
as
what
well.
really bamboozled me was that Shahzad just had 2 bites and he was done. I thought he was a big man, he's going to have a huge appetite, but
Yep.
no, he eats so little. So
Obviously,
I
that's
know.
you really need to make sure that you eat as much as you think that you can actually digest, you know, and you really shouldn't really be in a calorie surplus. So I think that's
cautious
the idea.
So
But
I think a
for the
good
rest of my
message.
team members, you really need to watch your mouth.
All right, so you know, since we have wrapped up that delicious street part, let's dive into something exciting that is happening all across the globe. And HBO has officially released the first glimpse of the long-awaited return of the Harry Potter series, which is started filming. And the much-hyped television series is the adaptation of J.K. Rowling's book series Harry Potter, which we all love and we have watched and we've read. The broadcasters have also approved a photo which shows a young McLaughlin as Harry Potter, wearing the character's signature round glasses and golden uniform. He is an 11-year-old kid who joined the
McLaughlin.
Laughlin. He joined by Alastair Scout as Ron Weasley and Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger, and the trio was selected from over 30,000 actors who had auditioned for the roles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, till date, I don't know whether I've understood the film completely or not. But yes, obviously here and there, you know, with all of those visits coming along in the school and whatnot, I think it's good to take a good look as well. And for people who are not interested in reading books, I think it is for you to go out and please make sure that you know, catch up with the latest Harry Potter. But while we are here, you know, I would want to, you know, there's always like this, because we belong to that industry where musicians are your friends, drama actors are your friends, artists are your friends. So, you know, your musician friends will come over and be like, you know, ये गाना मैंने भी release नहीं किया, take a good listen at it. We're like, wow, you know, because nobody has heard it. But imagine what happened with Beyonce, that the unreleased music of American singer Beyonce was stolen from a vehicle in Atlanta just days before the singer's 4-night Cowboy Carter tour stop in the city. According to the police report, 5 hard drives with watermarked music, some unreleased music, footage plans for the show and past and future set list were taken from a 2024 Jeep Wagoner that was being driven by Beyonce's choreographer Christopher Grant. The car was in a parking deck by Krog Street Market, a popular spot near downtown Atlanta, when the incident occurred. According to one of Beyonce's dancers, the trunk window of the vehicle was damaged and 2 suitcases had been stolen. I don't know whether, you know, it's a publicity stunt or not, or is it a marketing stunt, but
I was
obviously.
thinking the exact same thing. Like, why would someone, maybe they hoped to find something else in the briefcases and they were spoiled by
Probably
Beyonce's
because
music.
those were Beyonce's suitcases, right?
Maybe
Yeah,
they,
but
they
imagine we
wanted
are
a
over
Louis
here in
Vuitton bag.
Pakistan talking about Beyonce's music, you know, being stolen. And imagine the kind of marketing tactics that they use. You know, over here now everybody wants to listen to that stolen music. That's the point.
Now everyone wants to see what was on those tapes. So
Yep.
that really ignites a lot of curiosity for people. And you know, Shahzad, we talked about music and series, but we need to dive into sports and how a lot of balls are wasted during tennis. So to combat that, you know, folks in Wilmington actually did something. So
Take your
during
time,
the
take
course
your
of
time.
one of the most popular sporting events in Wimbledon.
Wimbledon.
roughly.
Okay, let me do this. During the course of one of the most popular sporting events, Wimbledon, roughly 55,000 tennis balls are used each year. And when the tournament wraps up, these tennis balls are put to good use. Some are sold on site to raise funds for the Wimbledon Foundation, while others are donated to the Wildlife Trust, a grassroots movement of 46 independent charities working to support wildlife. Wow. The organization transforms the balls into homes for harvest mouse, one of the UK's smallest and most vulnerable animals. These tennis balls offer the perfect shelter for tiny rodents, which measures just 5 to 7 centimeters and weigh a meager of 4 to 6 grams. The initiative has been running for 25 years, just one part of Wimbledon's environmental efforts, and it's
Yeah,
great.
it's great to see how balls are being reused and resold and given back to the environment, you know, for the little mouse to have a little house. It's
Exactly.
cute.
Now, you know what? I'm going to take you back in time. So imagine that Eesha, we do know for a fact that how, you know, Ertugrul drama series was a big hit, obviously, and it has, because we as Muslims certainly would want to kind of go back and look into our history, you know, the kind of battles that we have fought and, you know, how we are or how we have ruled the world for more than 700 years. And in this, what happens is that a lot of collaborations take place, a lot of friendships come forward. And such is the friendship of Pakistan and Turkey. And if we are to speak about Ottoman Empire, you know, how it has, you know, probably moving on
Bridged
towards or
place.
transbridged or, you know, connected both the identities of Muslims from different parts of the continent is something which is fascinating. Now, to speak about it, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody who actually happens to be the official translator of the Turkish president and prime minister as well. Not just that, ladies and gentlemen, he happens to be somebody who's actually done PhD in Turkish language, and he's actually set to release his book today as well. It's over here in my hands. And we will be talking about Pakistan and Turkey relation. Not just that, I think in the wake of war in between Pakistan and India, we did see how, you know, the Turkish government, the Turkish people were very steadfast, you know, with our resolve and, you know, about our territorial integrity and sovereignty and how they backed us up. And to speak about it, we're very lucky that we've been joined by Dr. FURQAN HAMEED, who happens to be the Urdu translator, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Sir, absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Wonderful to have
Thank
you
you
over
very
here. तो सर गुफ्तगू का अगर आगाज़ करते हैं, सबसे पहले तो हम चाहते हैं कि आप थोड़ी सी हिस्ट्री बताएं हमें ऑटोमन एम्पायर की और फिर पाकिस्तान और तुर्की के जो आपस में ताल्लुकात है बरादराना वो कैसे हैं?
आपको पता होगा खिलाफत उस्मानिया ऑटोमन एम्पायर जो है वे वैली इस्लामी ममलकत है जो 3 बड़े आज़मों पर फैली हुई थी। 500 से ज़्यादा अरसे तक जो है इसने हुकूमत की है। फिर जो है उसके बाद जो है ये खिलाफत जो है आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ख़त्म होना शुरू हो गई। लेकिन इसने पूरे जिसे कह सकते हैं अफ्रीका, बरआज़म एशिया और बरआज़म यूरोप तक है जो है यूरोप के तमाम ममालिक तकरीबन जो है वियना तक पहुँच गए थे। वियना से आगे जाना मुमकिन नहीं हो सका था, लेकिन वियना तक ये ग्रीस वगैरह ये सारा कुछ था। यूरोप का जो भी बड़ा हिस्सा था वो अब उस वक्त सल्तनत ऑटोमन एम्पायर का हिस्सा था। और ऑटोमन एम्पायर छाई हुई थी दुनिया पर, एक वाहिद इस्लामी मुल्क था जो पूरी 3 बड़े आज़मों पर छाया होता। उसके बाद ज़ाहिर है कि हालात बदलना शुरू हो गए। फिर मॉडर्न जमहूरियत तुर्की वजूद में आता तुर्की क़यादत में। फिर उस वक्त से जो है हालात तब्दील होना शुरू हो गए। अब ये है कि तुर्की और पाकिस्तान के देखा जाए पाकिस्तान और तुर्की के ताल्लुकात जो हैं वो उस वक्त से चले आ रहे हैं ऑटोमन एम्पायर के दौर से। सबसे ज़्यादा अगर किसी जिसे कह सकते बड़े सग़ीर के मुसलमानों ने उस वक्त चूँकि पाकिस्तान नहीं था, बड़े सग़ीर के मुसलमानों ने जिस तरीके से खिलाफत उस्मानिया की ऑटोमन एम्पायर की मदद की थी वो आज तक फरामोश नहीं कर सके। जब कभी भी कुछ मौका आता है वो लाजमी तौर पर ये कहते हैं कि हम पाकिस्तानियों को बरसगीर पाक को
Sir, which is why I'm going to ask you this now. Imagine that if we are to speak about how the Muslims of this subcontinent contributed towards the Khilafat-e-Osmaniya's Muslims or the Ottoman Empire's Muslims is something I would want you to shed light on. कैसे मदद की?
हाँ ये देखिए वहाँ चूँकि आप बताया कि ऑटोमन एम्पायर जो है वो बिल्कुल ख़त्म हो चुकी है माली तौर पर। बिल्कुल उसके कर्जा जो है यूरोपीय ममालिक ने कर्जा जात है उस पर वो कर दिया था। उस कर्जा देने के लिए कुछ अदायगी करने की कुछ भी नहीं था। बड़े सगीर के मुसलमानों ने देखा होगा आपने उनके ख़वातीन ज़ेवरात तक माली मदद जो की है ज़ेवरात तक बेच दिए उन्होंने, हर तरह की जो कुछ कर सकते थे, हालांकि कोई बहुत ज़्यादा बड़े सगीर के मुसलमान बहुत ज़्यादा अमीर नहीं थे, लेकिन इसके बावजूद इन्होंने हर तरह की माली मदद की। और ये माली मदद जो है अल्लामा इकबाल ने आपने देखा होगा कि वहाँ लाहौर के जो मैदान में उन्होंने मुसलमानों से चंदा जमा करने की अपील भी की थी और ऐसे इशार पड़े थे जिसकी वजह से वहाँ के मुसलमानों ने इतनी बड़ी तादाद में जो है वो माली फंड जो है पैसे चंदा जमा किया। वो चंदा जो है फिर रूस के रास्ते जो है वो ऑटोमन एम्पायर और सल्तनत उस्मानिया और उसके अलावा जदीद जमहूरियत तुर्की पहुँचा, जिसे वो आज तक, यानी आप ये कह सकें जिसके पास जो कुछ भी था उसने वो अपना सब कुछ दे दी। जिसके पास माँ गरीब माँ के पास बच्चा कुछ भी नहीं था, बच्चा ही था सिर्फ, उसने अपना बच्चा भी जो है सल्तनत उस्मानिया के ऑटोमन एम्पायर के हवाले कर दिया, जदीद जमहूरियत तुर्की के हवाले कर दिया। यानी हमारी तारीख जो है वो तुर्की की मदद के लिए भरी पड़ी है, इसलिए तो तुर्क जो है आज तक इसको फरामोश नहीं
And
कर
this
सके।
speaks about the unity and the passion for people to come together and give back to the country that they want to strive and they want to uphold it. You know, it speaks volumes of how integral sovereignty of people themselves was upholded at that time, and that's very, very beautiful. And you know, you described कि Turkey में कितना culturally rich है and कितना beautiful country, and I remember when I visited it was so rich and diverse, the deserts, the Ottoman palaces, the Blue Mosque. It was an exceptional experience. And you actually have been in Turkey since 1988. So please, can you share your memories with us about how Turkish people felt about us back then and what about now?
ये बड़ी लंबी कहानी है, सही कह रही हैं आप। मेरी 88 से जो है वो मैं पहला पाकिस्तानी जिसने PhD की है टर्किश लैंग्वेज में। एक्चुअली मैं जब वालदान मेरे सेंटो में किसी ज़माने में जॉब किया करते थे वालिद मेरे, उस ज़माने से मैंने टर्किश ज़बान सीखना शुरू कर दी। सीखने के बाद जब मैं वापस पाकिस्तान आया तो यहाँ पर नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज है। अब वो जो यूनिवर्सिटी का रूप इख्तियार कर सकता है, अब ये नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज है, लेकिन मेरे दौर में वो नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज था। फिर मैंने वहाँ पर जो है वो टर्किश ज़बान जो पाकिस्तानियों को पढ़ाना शुरू कर दी। वहाँ फिर जब डेलीगेशन वगैरह जितने भी आया कर तुर्की से, जितने भी क्योंकि आप एक चीज़ नोट की होगी वो तुर्की में आम तौर पर जो है इंग्लिश नहीं बोली, वो अपनी ही ज़बान में, अपनी तुर्की ज़बान में जो कुछ भी है उसी में पेश करते हैं, उसी में बोलते हैं, उसी में आपका ताल्लुका जो कायम होते हैं। इसलिए वो जब भी डेलीगेशन वगैरह आया करते थे तो फिर वो एज ए तर्जमान के तौर पर, मुतरजम के तौर पर मैं ही फ़राइज़ अदा किया करता था और मेरे साथी फ़राइज़ अदा किया करते थे। इसलिए फिर उनके साथ ताल्लुकात हो गए। फिर उन्होंने मुझे जो है वो वहाँ की हुकूमत ने मुझे PhD के लिए जो है स्कॉलरशिप अता की। वो स्कॉलरशिप लेने के बाद मैं वहाँ पर चला गया।
आपने वहाँ पढ़ाना भी शुरू कर दिया?
फिर मैंने वहाँ पे जो है वो PhD मुकम्मल करने के बाद जो है वो उर्दू डिपार्टमेंट में और इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट में पढ़ाना, तुर्कों को पढ़ाना शुरू कर दिया। साथ ही साथ मैंने टर्किश रेडियो एंड टेलीविज़न को, उर्दू सर्विस को ज्वाइन भी कर लिया था।
एग्जैक्टली और मेरा ख्याल है अब आप उसकी सरबराही भी कर रहे हैं।
हाँ जी, मैं उर्दू सर्विस की, जी हाँ, उर्दू से टर्किश रेडियो टेलीविज़न की जो उर्दू सर्विस है उसके एज ए हेड के इंचार्ज के तौर पर मैं इस पर फ़राइज़ अदा।
एग्जैक्टली, बट डॉक्टर साहब सिर्फ यही नहीं, आई थिंक आई वुड वांट टू स्पीक अबाउट मोर एंड दैट इज दैट यू नो दैट यू एक्चुअली इंट्रोड्यूस्ड a Turkish to Urdu dictionary and Urdu to Turkish dictionary as well. Tell us about that.
हाँ जी, एक्चुअली ये देखा जाए क्योंकि मेरे जाने से पहले वहाँ पर ताल्लुकात तो हमारे बहुत पुराने ताल्लुकात हैं, लेकिन अपना जो है तर्जमा पेश करने के लिए, तुर्की ज़बान सीखने के लिए कोई ऐसी बेस नहीं थी कि पाकिस्तानी उर्दू सीखें या तुर्क जो है वो उर्दू सीखे। फिर मैंने वो तकरीबन 4 साल की मेहनत के बाद उर्दू तुर्की उर्दू डिक्शनरी तैयार की थी, जो पाकिस्तान के उस वक्त प्रेसिडेंट थे आसिफ जरदारी, पहले दौर की बात कर रहा हूँ। उस वक्त ये आसिफ जरदारी पहला दौर आप एज ए सदर के तौर पर फ़राइज़ अदा करते, जबकि तुर्की में उस वक्त जो है सदर अब्दुल्ला गुल है वो सदर
2009-10 की बात कर रहे हैं आप गालिबन।
जी हाँ जी, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं। उस वक्त फिर उन्होंने मेरी ये लॉन्चिंग सेरेमनी में हिस्सा लिया था। यानी ये लुगत जो है, ये डिक्शनरी जो है, दोनों मालिक के सरबराहान ने जो है इसकी लॉन्चिंग की, जो मेरे लिए एजाज़ है।
And sir, obviously it's a great honor for you and not just for you, but I believe that for all of us Pakistanis, that you know that a Pakistani is out there and you know he's bridging these gaps in between two nations and making sure that they come together, and that way the course of communication, you know, and language certainly plays a very pivotal role. But if we are to kind of sir speak about the Turkish language itself, was it challenging for you initially to learn Turkish language and then master it to a level where you did PhD, then you translated their books, you wrote a dictionary? Not just that, sir, in addition to this, you have actually learned the old Turkish. It's not that it's the modern Turkish language.
अच्छा, मैं उसी बारे में बता दूं, क्योंकि मुझे उर्दू, ज़ाहिर मेरी ज़बान उर्दू है, तो मुझे एडवांटेज ये है, उनकी जो ऑटोमन एम्पायर थे या खिलाफत उस्मानी की जो ज़बान थी, उस्मानी ज़बान उसको कहते हैं, वो राइट से लेफ्ट उर्दू की तरह लिखी जाती थी। फिर वहाँ पे जो मुझे एडवांटेज ये हुआ कि पुरानी ज़बान भी पढ़ाई जाती है कि ताकि लोगों का जो तुर्की ज़बान पढ़ते हैं उनका रिश्ता कायम रहे, माजी से जो है ताल्लुकात कायम रहे, क्या कुछ हुआ। तो उसके लिए मुझे जो है वो उस्मानी ज़बान भी पढ़ना पड़े। उस्मानी ज़बान में मुझे एडवांटेज ये हो कि मेरे लिए तुर्कों की निस्बत जो है ज़्यादा आसानी थी। और मज़े की बात, मैं वाहिद पाकिस्तानी हूँ जो आज भी तुर्कों को उस्मानी ज़बान पढ़ाता चला आया हूँ। तुर्कों के जो एम्बेसडर वगैरह जो है
थोड़ी सी सुनाएंगे सर, हमें थोड़ी सी बोल के सुनाएं, हो सकता है हमें समझ तो कुछ ना आए लेकिन कुछ थोड़ा सा
I have a question regarding that later, but after
ना सिर्फ सुने यानी क्या इसका मतलब है कि कैसे हैं आप, मैं ठीक हूँ, सीना सुने आप कैसे हैं, गुनाइदन, गुनाइदन का मतलब है गुड मॉर्निंग, यक्षमलर का मतलब है गुड इवनिंग। इस तरह जो है हमारे
सर ये कैसे कहेंगे मैं आपसे प्यार करता हूँ?
हाँ, सैनी चौक से भी हो रहा है,
सैनी चौक से भी हो, सैनी चौक से भी हो, I think.
and you know, since we are talking about languages, what happened with me and my family when we went to Turkey was that after exiting Istiklal Street, heading towards our hotel, we saw the beautiful sea of the Bosphorus Sea, right? And we wanted to go visit it. However, the paths were very confusing, so we asked a local person, ki, oh, we want to go see, right? So we were talking in English, and what we were saying was, we want to see the sea, see the sea.
Yeah.
And it was so confusing, and we kept talking in English. But then later on, after so many descriptions and hand movements, then he finally said, oh, Nazara, Manzir. So he was like, oh, you want the Manzir. So we were like, oh, so Urdu actually is mixed with Farsi, and that plays a huge
मैंने
role.
अपनी लुगत में ये डिक्शनरी बताया कि 5000 के करीब जो हैं वो वर्ड्स हैं वो कॉमन है, जो हमारी पर्शियन से भी हैं, अरबी से भी हैं और उर्दू ज़बान के भी। फॉर एग्जाम्पल उर्दू का जो अपना वर्ड जो है उर्दू जो है वो एक्चुअली टर्किश ज़बान ही का वर्ड है, जिसके मीनिंग लश्कर के आते हैं, आर्मी के आते हैं। इस तरह के खान का लफ्ज़ भी एक्चुअली खान का लफ्ज़ भी जो है वो भी तुर्की ज़बान ही का प्रॉपर लफ्ज़ है, और बेगम का लफ्ज़ भी तुर्की ज़बान का प्रॉपर है, वो फ़ारसी या अरबी से नहीं है। ये कई एक अल्फाज ऐसे हैं जो सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ तुर्की ज़बान से उर्दू ज़बान में आए हैं। ये इस तरह जो है डिक्शनरी में मैंने उसको वजह की हो कि किसे 5000 के करीब जो है अल्फाज जो है वो कॉमन है, जो एक दूसरे
Exactly. And sir, not just that, you've actually even prepared your students for a play Bahar Pakistan.
हाँ जी
Please उसके बारे में बताइए।
हाँ, ये क्योंकि वो सारे मेरे स्टूडेंट जो है वो उर्दू सीख रहे थे सर। मैं आपको बताया मैं उर्दू डिपार्टमेंट में था, तो उर्दू सीख रहे थे, लेकिन पाकिस्तानी कल्चर को भी मैं मुतारिफ करवाना चाहता। तो फिर मैंने ये सोचा कि एक ड्रामा तैयार किया जाए जिसमें तुर्की और पाकिस्तान के जो नौजवान हैं वो मिलकर एक ऐसा स्टेज शो तैयार करें। और ये वाहिद स्टेज शो है जो टर्की ज़बान में तुर्क स्टूडेंट्स ने पेश किया था, बहार पाकिस्तान के नाम से। ये जो है ये ड्रामा जो बेहद पसंद किया गया। और इस वक्त भी जब मुख्तलिफ पाकिस्तान के जो आज़ादी का दिन आता है या जो पाकिस्तान की अहमियत के दिन होते हैं, उस दिन ये TRT की तरफ से पेश किया जाने वाला वाहिद ड्रामा है जो मेरी तरफ से तहरीर किया गया था। और अभी भी ये ड्रामा इसमें स्टूडेंट सब जित रोल अदा किए वो सब के सब मेरे स्टूडेंट ही थे।
माशाल्लाह, माशाल्लाह। Thank you so much, sir, you know, for actually kind of making sure that you take the art and craft with you as well, and it's not just the language and you're depicting the real picture of Pakistan. But very quickly, sir, this book will be released today. You've written this book. This is by you, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Alame Islam का
टाइगर। एक्चुअली मैं आपको पता होगा मैं रोज़नामा जंग में आर्टिकल लिखता हूँ जी हाँ, तो भी ये लरसे से लिख रहा था। तो उस दौरान जो जितने भी आर्टिकल अच्छे थे एर्दोगान के बारे में थे, तुर्की के बारे में थे, पाकिस्तान और तुर्की के ताल्लुकात के बारे में थे, वो फिर मैंने सब कुछ जो है एक जगह कंपाइल किया। और मेरा ये था कि कम से कम जो है एक ऐसी किताब पाकिस्तान के कायरीन के हाथों में आ जिसमें तुर्की के सदर रजब तय्यिप एर्दोगान जो पहले वज़ीर आज़म भी रह चुके, ये आपको पता पहले 3 अदवार उनके वज़ीर आज़म के दौर पर या 2 अदवार जो है वो सदर के दौर पर तवील अरसे से गुज़श्ता 22 साल से बरसर इक़्तिदार हैं। आपको ये बता दूँ कि तुर्की में इनसे पहले कोई भी ऐसी हुकूमत नहीं जो इतना अरसा तवील हुकूमत कर सकी हो और फिर मुस्तकिल तौर पर ये 51% के करीब वोट हासिल किए हुए। ये जो है उनका बहुत बड़ा मार्क है, इसी वजह से वो आज भी अपनी हुकूमत को कायम रखे हुए। अब आइंदा देखते हैं कि इलेक्शन में क्या होता है। जो इसलिए इसमें तुर्की पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात, पाकिस्तान के वज़ीर शहबाज शरीफ के साथ बड़े अच्छे उनके गहरे ताल्लुकात थे, अपने जरदारी साहब के साथ बड़े अच्छे ताल्लुकात थे, बाकी जितनी भी हुकूमतें आती रही हैं सब के साथ अपने एर्दोगान साहब के बड़े अच्छे ताल्लुकात।
Exactly, but thank you so much, Dr. Saab, and inshallah, thank you so much for gifting this to me too as well. You know, I'll certainly give it a read, and for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you look for this wonderful book. You know, it'll be out there on all of those, your favorite bookstores as well. But thank you so much, Dr. FURQAN HAMEED Saab, sir. Wonderful to be in conversation with you. It was lovely, you know, to kind of speak with someone who's actually done so very well for the soft image of the country, and you're certainly an ambassador of our country. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. So nice of you.
Jazakallah, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, sir.
much. And
And-
you know, Shahzad, we
yeah.
talked about how the Ottoman Empire, they were so sturdy and fast-paced, and they fought wars. So they needed a lot of strength and movement and physical activity. So I think it's very fitting that we dive into our sporty news, because that is our activity for
That was
the
a good
day.
link. That was a good link. Please go ahead.
So Pakistan is to face Indonesia today in the quarterfinals of the second Asian Under-10 Volleyball Championship in Thailand.
Under 16.
Under 16.
Yeah.
The teams that have qualified for the last 8 rounds in Pakistan are India, Iran, Japan, and the hosts, which are Thailand, Uzbekistan, Indonesia, and Korea. Pakistan remains unbeaten in the tournament, having defeated Korea, Saudi Arabia, and the Chinese Taipei in their pool matches, and the tournament progresses as Pakistan will look into continuing their strong form and secure a spot in the semi-finals.
Well, that's wonderful. Now from, ladies and gentlemen, under 16 Asian Volleyball Championships, let me take you to one of my favorite sport. I don't know whether a lot of people consider it sport or a luxury, but certainly I'm talking about snooker over here, where the IBSF World Masters Snooker Championship is underway. Pakistan's Mohammad Asif stormed into the pre-quarterfinals of the IBSF World Masters Snooker Championship with the commanding 3-0 win over Tony Morgan of Wales. He will now face Mohammad Shihab of the UAE. Meanwhile, fellow Pakistani Shahid Aftab was edged out 4-2 by Bashar Abdul Majid of Qatar. In the under-17 event, Hasnain Akhtar gave Pakistan a strong start by defeating Abdullah Musleh of Qatar 3-0. The under-17 category features 32 players from 15 nations, while the top 2 form each group advancing to the pre-quarter finals.
And speaking of Shahzad's favorite
Luxurious sport.
you know, and snooker is always very hard for me to play, as this stick just doesn't hit the target and just pokes around.
I wanted to say something, but I will not.
All right, so you know, I think we need to dive into Shahzad's most favorite sports, and
Yeah.
that is cricket. And the Pakistan's national squad departed from Karachi to Dhaka today through Dubai, and they prepare for the upcoming T20 international series against Bangladesh. The much anticipated series will feature 3 T20 matches set to kick off in July 20th, and all 3 matches will take place in the Shere Bangladesh Stadium in Dhaka, a venue known for its challenging conditions that are expected to test Pakistan's cricketing skills. So let's see how our players do in these trying climatic times.
I mean, it's going to be really tricky, because Bangladesh is really known for how, you know, they prepare their pitches and in home series. So let's see. I think in time will tell. And then after that, I think we have a series against West Indies, and then Asia Cup is just around the corner. So we'll have to see. And for the, you know, if you want to kind of dive into the real-time analysis, please make sure that you tune into PTV Sports at 10 p.m. when game on, and inshallah I'll make sure that I speak that out, or speak my heart out with Shoaib Akhtar and you know, Basit Khan and Sanami. But while we're at it, obviously right at the beginning of the program we did say how NDMA has actually made sure that, you know, everybody out there in local vicinities is on an alert and have been issuing alerts of flooding. So Mahar Shahzad has been joined us, or have joined us as of now, from the Pakistan Meteorological Department. So we'll ask him. Hello Mahar Sahab, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you feeling today, sir?
Well, very fine, and yeah, really good, pleasant weather in Islamabad. Rain continued in Lahore and its surrounding areas. Though there are some eventualities due to the heavy rain, but the weather is we can say that is very pleasant. In the last 24 hours, many rain events in some areas, even more than 100 millimeters, especially that have occurred in some areas of the Punjab. Shahzad, I would like to issue the alert and convey this message to the vulnerable areas that for the next 2 days, the weather is again very much, you can say that heavy rains are expected in some areas of the northeast Punjab, especially Gujranwala, Sialkot, Lahore, and Faisalabad, Sargodha divisions, and up to Islamabad and Kashmir, adjoining Kashmir area. You know that when there is a rain in the Kashmir, that is the catchment areas of our rivers, so there is a chance of the flooding in River Chenab. Though not very heavy floods, but up to the medium or high flood level can be attained in the river Chenab. All other rivers are still safe because much capacity of the water is still to be in Mangala Dam, Tarbela, and in Indian dams that are on the river Ravi, that is Theen, Bakra, and Pong Dam. So the eventuality of the flooding can happen only in the Chenab River. So the people should have to get them alert due to the heavy rain and this flooding. And also flooding is expected in the nullas of the river Ravi, Chenab, and Jhelum, and hill torrents of the DG Khans. These are also very much vulnerable, though situations may be in controlled, and stakeholders are always keep them alert.
Thank you so much for updating us. And sir, I would want to precisely just one last question, speak about the nallas, because you've spoken about it. And we do know how even in Islamabad and Rawalpindi there's Nalla, Nalla, I don't know what the name was, Nala
Drainage systems,
probably, and and most of the time what happens is that it's choked as well. How are the conditions over there with the Nallas? Because I think that's one of the major cause of urban flooding.
You are right, Shahzad, you are right. Situations can become vulnerable because the system that is approaching to the this area maybe produce heavy rain. So there is a chances of the flooding in the Nala Lai also. And we have installed there a very up-to-date systems of the live updates, and we can say the situations up to what level can we say they are lively. And so the agencies like the district administrations, the divisions, the division headquarters, all are kept on the alert situations that these situations may occur. So the situations is likely, but we are on the alert stage.
Okay, wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. PMD is certainly playing a pivotal role in making sure that they keep a strategic eye out onto what's actually happening in terms of flooding and urban flooding.
And this segment was much needed, as the little cousins in my house were always raving about going to different places and visiting them during summer break. But now, after listening to Mr. Meher, I think they need to absorb how scary and astounding it's going to be if they go on traveling trips during these trying times of
Exactly, but you
change.
still certainly can, kind of go to different places. Please just make sure that, that you keep a check, because Meher Sahab has already spoken about it, that alhamdulillah, so far the condition's fine, even with the nallas, but it's the river Chenab that we really need to kind of look after as well. So people in the surrounding areas of river Chenab, or the connecting areas of river Chenab, please make sure that you keep an eye out. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. Time now for us to bid you farewell. Until next time, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Have a good day. Bye.